What's up, guys? This is Epic SDG, and today we're talking about Advanced Warfare General Tips. So today we start a new Advanced Warfare series, and this series is on tips and tricks. Now, we're going to cover the maps, we're going to cover the guns, we're going to cover the different game modes, and we're going to cover general all-purpose tips, and this is going to take place over a variety of videos. But before we get right into that, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more great content. Now you'll see for this video I'm playing Combat Readiness, and the reason I'm doing this is because Combat Readiness is not about the objective, it's about the kills. It's a time-based game, and you just get as many kills as you can, then the game is over. You can't see who's your enemy, you can't see who's your friend. There'll be computer characters, there'll be real people, but it's all about slaying. So it'll teach you how to better play the game. So today, we're going to cover generalized tips. Now these tips will take you far in Call of Duty, period, but these are based, well actually these aren't based specifically in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. These are tips that I've used to just play Call of Duty well. And the first thing I always tell people is never rush in. This game is about not only high kill streaks, but playing objectives. So what you want to do is you want to anticipate enemy movements and make sure not to rely on your gun skill alone. A lot of people in this game get off really easy and they do really well because they have high gun skill, but they don't understand the meta. They don't understand why to use this gun in this situation. They don't understand why to use this route in that situation, and they rely on having fast hands and twitch reflexes to get them throughout. That's not going to work in this game because the game has completely been changed. Now, another thing you want to do is you want to take a more patrolling playstyle. Now, the reason you want to take this as opposed to the other types of playstyles, which are rushing and camping, because there's only really three, you want to do this because not only do you get the best of both worlds where you can kind of hang back, but you can still be very aggressive. You can still get in the enemy's face, and you can still make them pay for stupid mistakes. All playstyles are a valid playstyle in this game, but don't camp. If you can help it, don't camp. Your teammates will hate you, your enemies will really hate you, and you will have a target on your back. Now, we've seen people who camp and they get DNA bombs or Moabs, it doesn't matter which Call of Duty it is, and people hate them generically, and people just do not want to play with you. I know I have personally blocked people from my players list, specifically because they camp so hard. It's just like, don't camp, okay? There's no way, there's no other way to go around it. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is you want to be aggressive, but you don't want to be overzealous. Now, this game has a real easy formula. You want to get in, get kills, and get out alive. And that's going to require you to pay attention. You're going to have to check the corners. You're going to have to pre-ADS. You're going to have to pre-fire when you know people are around the corners. And make sure that you really have a lot of situational awareness. Now, because the time to kills in this particular game is a lot lower, I'd say more closer to Black Ops than Ghosts, you have the ability to retreat if you take some damage. Now, make sure you take advantage of this. You want to live to fight another day. If you don't learn when to properly retreat, you'll never get those high-level kill streaks that you're trying to spend all your points on. Now, I took this tip from a couple other people, and it has never, ever served me wrong. Shoot your aggressors. Now, if you have a guy that's looking in your direction, he can probably see you. Shoot him first, not the guy with his back turned to you or the guy running around the corner. You'll see a couple spots in the gameplay where I fundamentally break this rule, and that's because, unlike a lot of people who play COD, I rely heavily on my gun skill, and that's wrong, okay? Don't do that. If you have 2 or 3 people, shoot the person that's looking at you, and you have a better chance of being set up for a double kill or a triple kill or a chain kill or anything. You have much better odds of winning this particular battle if you shoot the person looking at you. Now, if you don't have high gun skill, this might not work for you, but almost everyone that plays this game has mediocre gun skills because there's no real people who are like new to COD. Most people have played COD from going all the way back to COD 4 or World at War. So make sure you shoot the guy that's looking at you. I got a couple of real specific tips for you next, and these have never failed me. These might be a little higher level or maybe feel like nonsense to you at first, but trust me, these have never failed me. First, learn the reload patterns for your guns. Now, there's 3 primary types of reload patterns. There's your sprint cancel, where you start to reload, and the second that the magazine hits the clip, you sprint forward. This won't work if you're using a perk like Gun Ho, because Gun Ho changes the way that the reload mechanic works a little bit. The second one is a change cancel, where you swap your weapon when you go to reload and the magazine hits the well. And these will instantly refill your bullets, and it'll stop the animation so that you can get right back to the fight. Then in this particular game, because there's no speed reload option in the perks, there's a couple of other nonchalant ones. There's the panic reload, which is the other main one, when you double tap X to drop the rest of your magazine and you get a fresh set of mags. And that's normally very quick, with the exception, I believe, on the KF5, because that one, it makes sense for that to be a little slower, because the first 5 bullets of every clip do extra damage. So it makes sense for that to be a little slower. Then you have the double mags, and that has a reload adjustment as well. It's on the faster side, but because of all the other ways you can reload, I really don't feel like it's necessary. The next thing you want to do is you want to learn the weapon ranges, and crazy enough, the weapon sound profiles. Now, you want to go into a private match and you want to play with all the guns that you think you will realistically be using and that people will be using against you. The reason you want to do this is because you want to understand the fast kill shot range. Now, by fast kill shot, we mean short to medium range. You want to learn these ranges for the individual weapons, for the submachine guns, the assault rifles, things that people actually use, because that will detail a vast majority of your gun battles, because this game is more about close quarters fighting than most of the other Call of Duties. Now, by fast kill range, we mean the 1 to 3 shot range. Most weapons in the game kill within 3 to 4 shots at short to medium ranges, and we're starting to look at 5 and 6 shot kill ranges with the submachine guns at longer range, or medium long range, where we're still looking at a 3 to 4 shot kill range of assault rifles at long to medium range. Now, I know I said this a little bit earlier, and it sounds ridiculous, I know, but you really want to learn the sound profiles of guns. And the reason you want to do this is because this will give you a slight heads up on what you're dealing with. If you hear something that's firing at a super fast rate of speed, you can know that's probably not an assault rifle. That's most likely a submachine gun, because they have the higher speed rates. Whereas you hear something that's a little more slow and methodical, that might wind up being a assault rifle. Now, if you don't learn anything in this game, learn the sound of the Moores sniper rifle. It's a one-shot bandit, and it has a very distinct sound pattern. You will know when people are trying to shoot you if you can hear the gun, you hear the muzzle go off. Now, the next thing you really want to learn, and this is specific to this Call of Duty, you need to master the exo movement. You need to know how to dash properly. You need to know when to dash, when to double jump. You really have to pay attention to that in this game, because that has completely revolutionized the way the game has been played. So, if you can't master the exo movement, you will not excel at this COD unless you play classic playlists. But keep in mind, it's not why you bought it. You bought it because it's different, not because you want to play regular old COD. I'm like, because if you remove exo movements from this game, and you take the futuristic aspect of it, this is kind of Black Ops 2 again. That's exactly what this is. Black Ops 2 multiplayer with a little bit higher, a little bit lower time to kill, higher time to kill, excuse me. Now, the next ones are really important to me. Coordinate with your team. If you have a mic, use it. The better the coordination you have with your team, the better the team. Okay? Make sure to use callouts and landmarks if you don't know the callouts. And the callouts are relatively simple. Big Red, center map, Ascension back door. I mean, there's all sorts of ones. You know what I mean? Learn the callouts. And if you don't know the callouts, learn things like where B-Dom is, where the B bomb site is in S&D. That way you can use those callouts as well, because everyone knows where those are, because these are all the modes that everyone plays. Also, say where you die. When you get killed, say I died in this general location. That way nobody runs into there blind, especially when you're playing games like S&D, where you really, well, in S&D it won't really matter, but in other games where you have to know where people are. This will allow for better tactics and better group-based killing. That way everyone gets a bunch of kills, everyone's happy. Now comes the fun stuff. Map knowledge. You need to learn these maps. That is almost rule number 1 in Call of Duty. But because the time to kill is a lot different than it is in normal Call of Duties, it changes how you should understand the maps. All Call of Duty, you should always know the flank routes. You should always know the ambush points. People don't really play like that anymore, but if more people did, you'd have better firefights, more wins. But because the time to kill is low once again, there's another tactic that didn't work in Ghost, the bait and switch. Learn places where you can bait somebody into a blind corner and you have 1 or 2 guys with you and you lay waste to them. That will change the way you play this game. And the last tip I want to give you is just some general purpose tip. Have fun, okay? Don't stress out, try not to rage. I know it's COD, we die, you just want to go, ah, and all that stuff. Don't do it. Chill, breathe easy, have fun. You can be competitive, but the reason you bought the game is because you want to have fun, not because you want to break controllers and monitors and Xbox Ones and 360s and PlayStation 3s and 4s. That's not why you bought this. You bought this because you want to have a good time either with your friends or even by yourself. So, above all else, have fun. And with that, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And this is SDG signing out. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, guys.